Hi everyone, in this video I wanted to share that Louis Vuitton has officially raised their prices across many of their popular bags in the US. All of the new prices are listed on the US website, but as an example, the Pochette Métis, the canvas one, has gone up by $90 and is now $2,710. And as always, whenever I do price increase videos, I like to give you context beyond the recent increase. So I'm going to give you some history. This particular bag back in 2021 was $2,050. That would mean that over the past 4.5 years or so, this bag has gone up by about 32%. Now, we all know what's happening with the tariffs, and obviously any goods coming in from other countries are going to be hit with tariffs, including Europe. Even without the tariffs, LV probably would have raised their prices anyway. They are underperforming. They are not meeting expectations. Then let's talk about the Neverfull. I don't own the Neverfull, but all of the Neverfulls have gone up. All three sizes, PM, MM, and GM, have gone up by $100. So PM has gone from $1,960 to $2,060. And then the MM size went from $2,030 to $2,130, and then the GM size went from $2,100 to $2,200. So again, each went up by $100. Then let's talk about the Speedies. Now the Speedy Nano, that went up by $80. So it went from $1,800 to now $1,880. That's about a 4.5% increase. And then let's talk about the Speedy Bs, the Speedy B 25. So this also went up by $80. It used to be $1,820, and now it's a flat $1,900. And then the Speedy B 30 size also went up by $90. And then the Speedy B 35, which is that one right there. So this guy right here is now going to retail $2,050. Again, the Speedy B 35. And then rounding back to the classics, this is my vintage Speedy 30, no bandolier, so it's the classic. This one also went up by $80. So this will retail now $1,630. Prior, it was $1,550. So again, another about 5% increase. And then just for context, again, looking at the bigger picture, this bag, the Speedy 30, was retailing for $1,160 4 years ago. I am not going to go through every single handbag that was impacted because it's quite a long list. My bet would be that any bag that you name was impacted except for the Capucines. For some reason, the Capucines line was not impacted. And it's not just because it's leather. Other leather bags have been impacted. So for example, the Alma line. So the Alma BB also went up by $80. So now it's $1,900, whereas before it was $1,820. And then back in 2021, the price was $1,480. The Alma BB in the Epi leather also went up by $90. So that retails for $2,110 now, and prior it was $2,020. Some other bags that caught my attention for the price increases, so the carryall, I guess the carryall is quite popular these days, I'm not sure, I don't own it, but the carryall PM size went up by almost 10%, actually 9.4%. So that was a $240 increase. The price is now $2,790. The same goes for the MM size, that went up $230. That's about an 8.5% increase. Now the new retail price is $2,900, whereas prior to this week, it was $2,670. The Go 14 mm size is also another bag that went up. It's all leather. It's quite expensive as it is. It only went up by $50, which is less than 1% increase. However, it went from a pretty hefty price tag, which was $6,900, to now $6,950. So if you add taxes on top of that, you'll be well above $7,000. Like I said, there were plenty of other bags that were impacted. The key balls were impacted as well. The croissant bag was impacted, but I just can't list everything because that would take forever. Here are a couple of takeaways. Word on the street is that other LVMH-owned brand will now follow suit because that's usually what happens historically. Louis Vuitton will come out with their price increase, and then Dior and perhaps Celine, maybe Fendi, Loewe. These are all brands that are owned by the LVMH conglomerate. So we'll have to see what happens with those brands, but I would obviously not be surprised if they also increased their prices, especially again with the tariff situation that's happening right now. None of these brands want to absorb that cost. They definitely want to pass it on to the customer. It doesn't feel very luxurious to do that, but hey, at the end of the day, it's a business. So I'm just here to inform you guys, let you know what's happening. Let me know if you have any questions. If you want to know more about a specific bag and the history of the price, I may have it on my spreadsheet. So let me know in the comments below and I'll try my best to answer your questions. Hope you enjoyed this video. If it was informative in any way, please give it a thumbs up and I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.